Hello, welcome to The Single Parent, brought to you by Christ Our Shepherd Ministries. I'm Molly Hedrick. We are here today to provide you with different perspectives and views and real solutions to the single parent. And today our guest is Elaine Pruitt, a native Charlottean with 3 sons ranging in age from 7 to 14. And Elaine has been in marketing, accounting, landscape design, and since her divorce has focused on God and her children, and actually has been a homeschool mom also for 13 years. Welcome, Elaine.
Thank you.
Great for you to be here. Thank you. Well, why don't we start off by asking you a little bit more about your background and how you really got to the point of, how I like to say, being financially savvy.
Well, a lot of it came from being raised by my mother. She was a single parent, and certainly had a lot of challenges to deal with. She had rheumatoid arthritis and was partly handicapped. So she became very creative in finding ways not just to save money, but to make life more interesting and rich and rewarding on a tight budget. And the thing I think is most important about the way she handled it is that she looked at it as a game, not as something to put her hand to her forehead and bemoan, our sad fate.
Wonderful.
She sat down at the beginning, for instance, at the beginning of every school year, and when we were going to get school clothes and materials, and she would say, "This is how much we have," and we would sit and make a plan of attack of the different thrift stores and grocery stores and places in town that would have the supplies we needed. And then when we came home, we'd spread it all out on a table and just look at all of it and be proud of what we had accomplished, because we had tackled the task and done our best. And so we ended up feeling like winners, not poor, deprived people who couldn't get exactly what they wanted.
Exactly. And isn't it about the attitude so many times? And look what she has done for you. She's given you this gift that you can then provide for your children as well.
Exactly. Well, I know that because of her, I had a lot of that creativity and that find a way to make it interesting and spin things around to find the adventure in tough situations. I had that, and it helped me a lot before I had my divorce to make a more interesting home and to save money. We had bought used clothes and used toys and things like that for a good while. Because it didn't make sense to me to go buy a $40 shirt and put it on a child who's going to ruin it in 2 months, if that long.
Yes, I've been there.
Yes. So I had practiced a lot of the same financial skills that I use now. I just did not need them quite to the sharp degree that I do now because of being single and also because of the current economy.
Exactly. All right. When I think of my childhood and how we grew up too, and I never felt that I was without or that we were poor. We really took so many of the little things and really made them special, like just going to the lake and packing a picnic lunch, etc. And now I even love bringing my own lunch to work because I'm proud of that. One question I did want to ask you today is, how do you involve your kids now in that, in the budget for the household and how you spend it? Do you find yourself doing the same thing, or have you come up with new ideas that you could even share with us in the audience that they could use in their daily lives?
Well, first of all, I think that as a culture in America, we do our kids a great disservice in not teaching them financial skills. Be it in the school, in the home, in the church, anywhere. And I thought that long before I became divorced and the economy got bad. But there are a number of programs out there by Crown Financial Ministries and other programs of that sort that help to train children and adults in handling money in not just an intelligent way, but in a godly way. And so I had studied some of that material and actually taught a class in my church before becoming divorced. So my kids saw that material, we talked about it, and made some goals of this bill's going to get paid off and this one's going to get paid off. And we were actually in a state, with the exception of the mortgage, of being debt-free before the divorce happened. And the children saw us accomplish those things.
Well, that's so important, the sense of accomplishment. And now having a 14-year-old and and I have a 15-year-old who is babysitting and actually is now working 1 day a week. It's seeing her get that first payment, whether it be from babysitting or that first check, which she actually just did this week, the pride in her eyes, knowing she earned that. But now it's determining how to spend it.
Yes.
So that is where the teaching comes in from a very early age.
Yes, the teaching of how to earn it and how to spend it, and actually how to conduct a business. Because babysitting can be a pretty simple transaction. You stay for 3 hours, you get this amount of money, you walk away. Right. But my oldest son, who's 14, has just begun a small lawn care business, and he has one lawn he's cutting in the neighborhood and would like to expand to others. But during the time I've had my small businesses, my divorce was was final recently, but I've been separated for 2.5 years. And during that time, I've started several small businesses. And part of my goal in doing those is to bring my children along with me in the journey. Sure. So that they can learn the skills of this is an invoice, this is how you recruit business, how you network, how you nurture your customers, how you keep a business reputation, how you handle the deposits and the financial end of it. And I wanted them to learn those skills as much as I wanted to make money to put food on the table.
Absolutely, because in owning a business, there's so many I'm sure who have tried, whether it be mowing lawns or whether it be owning a marketing company, there are so many pros and cons and so many joys and benefits, but then again, you have to be careful there too. When I owned my own little business for about 3 years, didn't realize all that went into it. You have all of this work. Well, can you really get it done? Do you need more clients or not? Yeah. Take us into maybe the life of your family in a week. How do you handle, let's say, do you get together to look at the groceries and the coupons and things like that? Do you do that together? Do you get that small, let's say, or how do you view that as far as saving money when you even buy groceries?
Well, it's an integral part of all of our conversations. I don't do bit by bit with each of them. I don't sit down with the bills that I'm writing. Okay. But if things are running short or an unexpected expense comes up, for instance, we're in a vehicle and the tire blows and we're sitting there, we get the chance to have a wonderful conversation about, has anyone heard of any tire sales recently? We just passed a tire place back there. And how much they cost, why you need to get good quality ones, all of those kinds of things. And I'll take them to the tire store and let them listen to the bargaining process that I do with the person behind the counter. And then when we leave, I can ask them questions like, should I have done something different? Right. Or do you remember that man's name? Right. And after I've asked them that a number of times, they'll begin remembering the name of the person at the store they dealt with. Because if they have to return a product, if they walk back in and say, Carol, I'm bringing this back that I bought yesterday for this reason, with the receipt in their hand, it's helping them to think about how to conduct a business, not just as a business owner, but as a consumer.
Sure. And again, you're teaching them much more than just checks and balances and what they can see on paper. You're teaching them how to conduct business and how, and you know, so much of it too is relating and relationships with people, and it's not all about money, and obviously.
No, it isn't. Yes, some of it is the details. All of my children at one point or another have sat, I have a fruit business where I bring produce down out of the Blue Ridge Mountains and sell at local farmers markets, yes, and to local restaurants. And I have wonderful memories of my children, even my youngest one, when he was 5, sitting on a stool with his little legs swinging, making change for customers, and talking to people, and someone would say, you know, what is this? And my children learned the different types of fruit, the different ways to prepare them, those
make change.
And making change, how to approach a customer. Sure. What would be the best approach? What would bring someone over to your table when talking to a restaurant for the first time and trying to get their business? How do you go about doing that? And why do you do it a certain way? Right. And so I don't line them up in a row and sit and teach them a class in how to do those things, but
it's life experience.
It's life experience. And it says in the Word to instruct your children as you rise up, as you lie down, as you walk.